Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Inkwell Library. I am your head librarian, Elizabeth, and I invite you to relax and enjoy the many works that line the halls of our institution. Thank you for joining us for our third story time. If you are returning after last week, thanks for coming back, and if you're here for the first time, a very warm welcome to you. I do hope that everyone enjoyed part 1 of our story last week. We will be reading part 2 today, and our theme for this week is happiness. This is Chasing Colours by an anonymous author. Please enjoy. I almost feel like I'm vibrating as I sit and wait for Dinah to arrive. She sent me a text 20 minutes ago that she was close, so I moved from my room into the living room to wait for her. Rowan hasn't emerged from her room yet, probably either studying or sleeping, so I let the manic excitement take hold. Bouncing my leg up and down, I tense as I hear a knock on the door. I shoot up and make it there in a few steps. I fling it open and throw my arms around Dinah's shoulders, almost causing her to drop the bouquet of flowers she's holding. "Di, it's so good to see you," I say, my face in her hair. "You too, Lise," she replies. "Truthfully, I don't think I realized how badly I missed you until just now. I thought I was fine, but oh my goodness, it feels like I've remembered how to breathe." "The universe is back in alignment now," I giggle. "Two of the dumbest people in the world are in the same room again. What will we do?" Dinah laughs at that, and I help her carry her bags into my bedroom. I already set up a camping mattress for her on the floor, so settling in takes a minimal amount of hassle. Dinah surveys the room. "Damn, Lisa, the way you bemoan your living space, I thought you lived in a bona fide prison cell. This is nice. Your skills in decoration are unmatched. By the way, while I'm here, would you mind taking me out to look for some stuff to decorate my place?" I nod in agreement. There's a pretty good vintage store nearby with fair prices, and you can't go wrong at Kmart. I think I saw some fake vines there last time. Dinah seems to remember something then. She holds out the flowers she was carrying and motions for me to take them. Gathering the blooms in my arms, I inhale deeply, and the sweet floral smell fills me with joy. "Come out to the living room." I wait for Dinah to follow me. "I think we have a mason jar that I can put these in." After filling the jar with water, I set the flowers down on the main dining table. I'm hit with an odd sense of déjà vu as I recall the dreams of that little cottage that have become a part of my life. I wonder where I should tell Dinah about them. She'll listen, laugh in that good-natured way that she does, and tell me that dreams have meaning. Guess I should figure out what that meaning is before I start telling people. I wonder if I'll have the same dream again tonight. It seems odd that I'd have the same dream 2 nights in a row, and 3 just seems illogical. My train of thought is interrupted by Dinah clearing her throat. "It's getting a bit late to go out. Do you want to play some games, order some food, and hit the hay?" "Sounds good to me. What do you feel like eating?" "I don't know. Tell me what's good around here." "Well, there's about every fast food place you could think of within walking distance. But if you want something a little more substantial, there's a pretty good Mexican place called Little Jose that I've got food from a couple times." "I could go for Mexican." "Sweet." I pull up the menu on my phone and pass it to Dinah. "Have a look at that and see if anything takes your fancy. I'll go ask Rowan if she wants anything." I stand and softly knock on Rowan's door. She peeps out almost timidly. "Hey Rowan, sorry to interrupt whatever it was you were doing. Dinah and I were going to get Little Jose's, and I wanted to know if you wanted anything?" Her eyes dart to Dinah, and she replies, "Jose's sounds nice. I'll get a pulled pork quesadilla and some strawberry agua fresca. What are your bank details? I'll send the money to you now." I give her my bank details before sitting back down with Dinah. "So, See anything you like? I'll get 3 beef tacos, and I do want to try that strawberry agua fresca. With all the orders, I dial the number for the takeaway. The employee tells me it will be about 30 minutes, so Dinah and I retreat again to my room and boot up my computer and Dinah's laptop. Now that we're together in person, we decide to start a cooperative farm in Stardew Valley. We've been playing the game separately as a weird form of escapism for years, and think it will be fun to combine our knowledge and expertise and work together. We are very, very wrong. We run into an issue almost immediately. Dinah needs to uninstall all the mods she downloaded in order to even play cooperatively, and then spends the next 30 minutes laughing in frustration about how slow she is and how much she hates fishing. We're discussing the validity of using a glitch that has been left in the game to progress faster when we hear the doorbell ring. We answer the door and collect the food. I separate out Rowan's and knock on her door again. I hand her the food and invite her to eat with us. She declines, citing an exam she has coming up, and shuts her door again. So Dinah and I's conversation continues. We decide that we need to sleep when I start to call her a capitalist for prioritizing efficiency and automation on the farm over, relaxing and taking your time with the game. And I head to the bathroom to brush my teeth while Dinah changes in my room. We swap, and not long later, the two of us are settling into bed. Covers pulled up, I drift off to the sound of Dinah breathing on the floor. The birds are singing outside the window of the cottage again. It is truly incomprehensible that I've had the same dream 3 nights in a row now. It's kinda nice, the consistency. And I actually think I might miss when I stop having these dreams. I get up and decide that I might use the bathroom attached to the bedroom to have a bath. It's been a while. The claw-footed tub fills with water, and I drop in a few of the dried flowers that have been sitting on the windowsill. It's not much, but that little touch makes it feel all the more luxurious. I ease into the hot water and marvel at how real these dreams feel. I can feel my muscles relax as they are caressed by the warmth that surrounds my body. I wash off with some bar soap that I found next to the tub, and soak for what feels like an age. When the water is starting to cool, I drain the tub and dry myself off. I slip into the blue tunic I bought the night before, and decide that the rest of my day will be spent finding some proper furniture to fill my dreamy living space. Remembering the replica I made in House Flipper, I decide that I'll need at least 1 rug, a couch, a few armchairs, a desk, and some nicer chairs, as well as any other interesting decorating sundries I come across. Then I remember that I don't think I have any money. I find the little pouch that held the coins I found last night and learn that I have not gained or lost any. I'll need to find a way to get some more money. Figuring my best bet is to head into town and find someone willing to employ me, I pull on my boots and, coin pouch in hand, set off down the lane towards the nearby village. Seeing some flowers along the way, I pick them up. Maybe I can sell them and run a little floristry business in my dreams. Or maybe I'll find someone who needs me to mow their dream lawn. I giggle to myself and keep walking. I end up speaking to the paint seller again, and he tells me that he's been meaning to repaint his shopfront, but simply hasn't had the time. I tell him that I can paint well, and he promises to pay me what I believe to be a fair sum for my work. I get started, and by the time the sun is setting, the shop's exterior is looking good as new. I walk home with my coin purse slightly heavier, and a spring in my step, at having accomplished something worthwhile. Buttoning up my pajamas again and settling into sleep, I remember that when I wake up, I'm taking Dinah to find some fun decorations. Anticipating the day to come, I tuck myself in and close my eyes. I am awoken by both my alarm and Dinah hitting me with a pillow for daring to set an alarm on a Sunday and waking her up. I mumble out a half-hearted apology as I gather my clothes and drag myself into the bathroom. Dinah tells me that she's going to lay in bed for the next 30 minutes before she even thinks about existing properly today, and really, that's fair enough. I emerge from the bathroom 20 minutes later, dressed in a lemon-yellow skirt and a cream t-shirt that I accidentally spilt orange dye on 2 years ago, but now pretend it was a choice. I find that Rowan has also woken up early and is making pancakes in the kitchen. I made a lot, so please have some. I made enough for your friend as well. Dinah probably isn't going to be ready for at least another half hour, so we might have to muscle our way through the bulk of these ourselves, I remark with a smile. Rowan returns my grin and pulls some toppings out of the fridge. Would you say that you're more of a lemon and sugar or a Nutella kind of girl? Depends on the position of the moon and how hungover I am, I shoot back. I grab the juicer off her and get to work extracting the sweet, sour goodness of one of our slightly wrinkled lemons. A few minutes later, Dinah exits my room and trudges into the bathroom. I'm 3 pancakes deep when she sits down at the table beside me and opposite Rowan. After breakfast, Dinah and I brush our teeth and head out. I decide that our first stop should be my favourite vintage store, Tooth and Nail. I explained to Dinah that the store is owned by a really sweet lesbian couple who started the store because they enjoyed going to estate and garage sales on dates, but didn't have enough time for all the cool stuff they would buy. Now the store gets frequent donations, but still contains the owner's personal purchases and curated collections of funky vintage stuff. The store's facade comes into view, and the bell atop the door jingles as we enter. The owners aren't here today, and I greet the green-haired cashier warmly. It's been a long time since I've had the energy and time to come to Tooth and Nail, and I'm excited to see what new stuff they have for myself and Dinah. My eyes fall onto a plush-looking leather couch. The leather is a cherry red colour, and the metal attaching the upholstery to the wood is a dark, burnished bronze. The wood itself is an almost chocolatey brown and covered in a shiny gloss of varnish. It's beautiful. Majestic. It almost feels regal, like a throne. I inspect the tag. It's far too much for me to afford, it's almost comical, but I pull out my phone to snap a picture regardless. Behind it, I can see what appears to be a horribly misshapen plate, but upon closer look, I see that it's a plant pot, although a tad crude in its sculpture. It was shaped like the sun. It was painted with a similar orange that splashed across my shirt, and I checked the tag on this one and saw it was priced pretty reasonably and in my budget. I carried it over to where Dinah was inspecting some painted jewellery boxes. She voiced her approval for my purchase, and I moved to the front of the store to grab a basket. The basket's one of my favourite things about Tooth and Nail. They're all wicker and lined with old handkerchiefs. They add a fun ambience to the place. Placing my find in the basket gently, I move back over to Dinah, where she seems to be engaged in a deep debate with herself over whether she really needed a jewellery box. What's on your mind, Di? This box is really cool, and I can afford it, but I don't really wear any jewellery. I don't want to buy it and never use it. Well, you don't have to just use it for jewellery, you know. You could put your watch in there, or your sunglasses. You could even use it to store pens and stationery. That's smart. You have a knack for this sort of thing, you know. You have to think outside the box sometimes. This box, for example, currently has no purpose, so you can give it a new one with the items you store in it. Whoa, hold on there, Aristotle. Sorry, I giggle. I grab the box off the shelf and place it in the basket beside my ugly little plant pot. We look around Tooth and Nail for around an hour and add a few knickknacks to our basket. We head over to checkout and, bags in hand, bid the green-haired cashier goodbye as we exit. We walk down the street to the larger shopping complex a few more minutes down the road, chatting and catching up, when Dinah says something that almost stops me dead. Your roommate's pretty cute, by the way. I splutter. What are you on about, Di? I just mean that she seems nice, and she looks cute. And she made you breakfast. She made you breakfast too, so stop insinuating what I think you're insinuating. I'm not insinuating anything, Dinah says with a smile. I'm just stating a fact. Your roommate is cute and makes good pancakes. Your feelings, platonic or otherwise, were not something I was even mentioning. Why? Do you like her? I can feel my face heating up. I don't have feelings for her. I barely spoke to her before a few days ago. And when I talked to you on Wednesday, you were talking like your world was collapsing around you. The things that food can change. I shudder a little at that statement, and arms linked, we make it to the shopping complex. We weave our way through the crowds to Kmart, and spend another hour browsing their home decor. With our wallets lighter and our shopping bags heavier, I shut the door of my bedroom. Shopping really has a way of tiring you out. Remembering Rowan's lasagna from a few days ago, I knock on her door to check if it's okay to have some. She tells me that she has plenty left, so I grab 3 servings and begin to reheat them in the microwave. I leave one plate outside Rowan's door and carry the other 2 servings into my room. Ignoring Dinah's pointed look, I dig in. The food causes the sleepiness to set in, and after I've pushed myself to brush my teeth, I'm pulling up my covers and saying goodnight to Dinah. I didn't know it was possible to sleep in while dreaming, but when my eyes fall on the window in the cottage, the sun is already high in the sky. After a quick bath and dressing, my mind is taken off any potential tasks by a knock on the door. Somewhat confused, I open the door to find someone on the other side. I'm taken aback at first because they look sort of like Dinah, but their features are just slightly different. Sharper in some areas and soft in others. Enough to look similar, but they're definitely different people. Shaking off my initial confusion, I introduce myself. Lovely to meet you, Lisa. I'm Kana, your neighbour down that way. She points down the lane opposite of the way to town. I was talking to old Gregor at the paint shop about his lovely new storefront, and he told me that the new resident of this cottage painted it for him. I wanted to welcome you. It's been a while since anyone new moved nearby. She motions to her bag. And I brought some banana bread and tea for you. I thank her and invite her in for a cup of tea and a slice of banana bread. She steps inside and I root through the kitchen drawers to find a kettle. I fill it, figure out how to work the stove, and get some water boiling before I notice that she's staring at the flowers I painted on the wall. These are beautiful, Lisa. Would I be correct in assuming you painted these yourself? I did, yeah. I found some wildflowers and thought they were pretty, so I wanted to paint them. They are pretty. I was looking at them because my walls have felt a little bare lately, and I was thinking about giving them a fresh coat of paint. Would you be willing to paint them? I think Kana notices my surprise, and she continues. I would pay you, of course, and buy the paint for you. My hands aren't very steady, and I loved your work on Gregor's shop. I agree, and we enjoy some tea and banana bread while we discuss the details. We agree that I'll start tomorrow, and she reminds me of where she lives as she's leaving. Before I lie down to sleep, I realize that I should really wash the tunics that I've been wearing. After filling the bathtub with soap and water, and hanging the tunics over some chairs in the main room, I sink into the mattress excited about painting for Kana. She looks so much like Dinah, but also not at all. Wait, Dinah! Dinah's leaving tomorrow! Dinah's already up when my alarm sounds. I help her pack up, and while she showers, I think about her leaving today. Her presence has been so warm these last 2 days, and I can feel myself starting to miss her already. But she can't stay any longer. She has class later today, and needs to drive back before then. I carefully wrap up her jewellery box from Tooth and Nail, as well as the things from Kmart. Once I'm showered and dressed, I help her pack her things into her car and send her off with a hug. I can feel a weight begin to press down on me, and I'm suddenly very tired again. Once I'm back inside, I lay down on the couch and close my eyes. I want to go back to the cottage. I don't want to feel that nothingness again. My eyes open when a beam of sunlight falls across my face. I feel warm. I look around, expecting to see the little cottage that I'd been living in my dreams, but I was still laying on the couch. The warmth is coming from a blanket that has been laid over me. It's crochet, and made from loads of granny squares in a rainbow of colours. I check my phone to see that I've been out for about 3 hours. Then I see a text from Rowan. "I hope you're okay. There's some soup in the fridge if you want. I made too much." The soup is even more warming than the blanket. It's clearly a pumpkin soup, and the creamy orange liquid reminds me of family dinners from when I was young. I can feel the weight of this morning begin to lift. Blanket still around my shoulders, I wash up my bowl and sit down at my computer. I spend the rest of the day listening to classical music and working on my assignments. A few hours later, I hear the soft creak of the door as Rowan returns. She sticks her head inside the door. "Hi, Lisa. Are you, okay? When I woke up, you were passed out on the couch. I put a blanket over you and left you some of my soup. I hope that was alright." "Thanks, Rowan. I'm much better now." Dinah leaving again was just a bit harder than I thought. I get up. "This must be your blanket then. It's really nice." "Thanks. You don't have to give it back, though. I made it so that we could use it as a throw for the couch. It looked a bit bland out there." She steps back as I pass her to drape the blanket over the couch. It looks like it belongs there. We eat the final servings of lasagna together, and after changing into my pajamas, I lie down in bed. I never noticed that the blanket on the bed in the cottage was crocheted. That's why that warmth today felt so familiar. I pull on one of my now dry tunics, and, boots on, set off down the lane towards Kana's cottage. It's a bit of a cloudier day today, which suits me fine for the 30-minute walk to Kana's. She greets me at the door, and prepares a cup of tea for the both of us while I ask her some questions about the painting she wants me to do. Her cottage is very similar to my own in layout, and materials, and she would love to refresh the plaster with some new paint. She tells me that she likes the wood as is, but would love some flowers painted on the plaster walls and on the kitchen cabinets. She shows me the paints and tells me that she's going to go into town to get out of my hair, and will be back in a few hours. Rolling up my sleeves, I get to work. The plaster is coated with a fresh coat of burgundy paint, and when that dries, I get on with my task of swirling some wildflower designs over the kitchen furniture. Kana returns then, toting some sandwiches, and invites me outside for a picnic. At the end of the day, she presses far more money than we agreed on into my hands, and hushes me when I protest. I settle into bed again, wondering what tomorrow will bring. Tuesday usually hits me like a ton of bricks, but oddly enough, not today. I eat breakfast, make it to class on time, and actually end up studying as well. I make dinner that night, some classic buttered chicken, and eat with Rowan, laughing about something one of her classmates said. That night, I'm back in the cottage again, and my mailbox has been getting some use. Kana or Gregor must have recommended me to more people, because I have 3 more requests for painting work. I write them all back with the time I'll stop by, and over the next few nights I paint more and more little cottages with flowers, starry skies, and green glade forests. One of these customers has a couch that looks like the one I saw in Tooth and Nail, and they agree to sell it to me in exchange for my work. These dreams are vivid, and I used to worry that I'd be lost in them. I don't think I will, though. Not when I'm starting to enjoy waking up. Rowan and I have some sort of unofficial cooking roster, and Dinah and I speak often. She's been spending weekends here more, and she and Rowan have become friends as well. A few weeks after I met Kana, I noticed that my dreams are getting shorter. I get less painting done in a night than I used to. And I have to spend less time admiring Rowan's real crochet projects that appear in the cottage. She made a tea cozy last week, as it helps her channel her stress. The night after my birthday, I barely make it out the door. My dreams of the cottage stop completely with the night Rowan kisses me the first time. I thought I would miss them, but I don't think I need them anymore. I like being awake now. Really awake. I love walking out into my apartment and seeing the kitchen and living room covered in my girlfriend's dress crochet. She buys much more colourful wool now. I think she knows it makes me happy. Maybe I'll find my way back to that cottage one day. when I'm awake. I hope that I can have Dinah down the lane from me, and kiss my wife goodbye as she heads into the city for work. I hope that I can paint on my own walls, and on other people's, and fill my space with all the ugly pottery I want. I want to live more now. I'm happy. Stories like that always make me tear up a little. I do love a happy ending. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and do hope that you'll take the time to come back next week. We will be here at the Inkwell Library every Tuesday at 9 p.m. If you have a work that you would like to submit to our collection, please email us at stories@ucfm.com.au. I have been your head librarian, Elizabeth. Take care of yourselves, dear listeners, and good night.